Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Diablo 3. Last time we made it very close to Alcanis, where we can finally track down Magda. But in the meantime, I figured, time to stop the video, come back to town, clean up some things, and I realized that I had leveled up and I'd forgotten to equip some new gear. So what's the wrong one? There we go. Now we have a new helmet we can equip, and this is kind of useful. It's not particularly great as a helmet, it's got some moderate stats, especially a lot better for Barbarian, but that's what I got. More importantly, it has a little bit of attack speed, and it has a socket. And so what I want to put in there is I want to put in a gem, specifically a ruby, so that I can gain some additional experience, so I can level up faster. Now, when you're playing along for the first time, you probably won't be leveling up nearly quite this fast, because you won't have, say, the Hellfire Ring, you won't have a helmet that has such a large gem in it to gain so much more experience, so you won't be gaining as many levels, which is why I was talking about some good areas to do some little tiny bit of grinding. And we also have some new gloves to equip, which have some some randomly generated stats. These ones happen to have a decent amount of attack speed, and in particular the Mage Fist gloves here, they have fire damage. And they have two types of fire damage. They add 3% to fire damage. And based on my understanding of how the game works, it will add that damage to your basic damage, your black damage as they call it. And your black damage, if you look at the scrimshaw here, we have 11% to damage. That is black damage. The fire damage itself is obviously not black damage, it's fire damage. And if you look above the 11% damage on here, we have lightning damage. And lightning damage is also not black damage. So the way that the damage works is it will add that much damage to the amount of black damage, the basic damage, that includes your basic weapon damage. The jewel that I put in there, the minimum to maximum damage, it'll also add to that. But it won't add any percentage on top of any lightning damage or arcane damage or fire damage that I already have. So that's the way that one works. And it also has fire skills deal 13% more damage, which is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there's anything hidden on that one. Though there are a lot of things hidden in this game that are kind of difficult to figure out. Let's see, I want to keep the gloves, and that can go salvage. As you can see from the amount of, essences that I have now, we're actually doing reasonably well for picking these up. You'll probably get yourselves a lot more than I am. I'm not killing absolutely everything. I'm just picking up what I find, and I'm not going out of my way to do the extra dungeons, which you'll probably want to do on your first playthrough. Anyway, now that we've done that, we can also give our Enchantress her first skill. She has either Charm, which will charm an enemy to fight alongside you for 4 seconds, or something that's supposed to do some damage, and it has knockback. I don't think this is particularly useful. In fact, it can be somewhat more annoying, especially if they're knocking enemies back as I'm trying to kill them when they're all en masse. So I'm going to stick with Charm, though I don't think it's all that useful, but it's better than nothing. And I might as well go over this now. We can go and talk to the Scoundrel here, and the Templar here, and we can talk to them, and there'll be a whole long string of conversations throughout the entire game. You can also check on their inventory, what gear they have, what skills they can learn.
Scoundrel, have you seen my amulet?
Never.
You've never seen it?
No. And I've never seen your dagger either.
My dagger? Why, it's missing too!
Yeah, and that's the other thing about these three. These are the 3 hires that you get in the main game prior to the expansion coming out. I don't know if they're going to introduce any more or not. I haven't really looked into it, but they all level up and gain skills at different times. If you look, the final skill for the Templar is gained at level 30. And with the Scoundrel, it's the same thing. However, with the Enchantress, it's level 30. She doesn't learn her first skill until level 15. And they all level up at the same time, so it doesn't really matter which one you use in any particular time. The Templar is more of a defensive one. He has the healing spell here. He has a regeneration passive, which is probably the more beneficial of the two. The other one is a slow attack, which, considering he's a melee fighter that doesn't attack very fast, not particularly useful. He's got a charge, which deals some damage and a little bit of stun. and another 200% weapon damage. Even if you give him the best weapon in the game, he can't equip all the other gear that you can to increase his damage, so he'll still do pitiful damage with it. And down to his last one, he gives some basic resource regeneration for the various classes of the game. And his other one is, yeah, a knockback and healing tandem. I'd much prefer this one. He's really a defensive oriented kind of hire. As for the scoundrel, he has different arrow shots, and he has this one will, give himself, additional life and make him vanish, which doesn't really matter because they just revive when they die anyway. And as far as I know, you don't lose any of their passive bonuses when they die. As long as you have them hired to you, you'll gain those passives. And there's a shielding spell, and here we have the multi-shot, or the basic damage one with a little bit of stun. And here we have what is actually more useful about him. 3% critical hit for you and the scoundrel, which is a very useful thing late game. Again, not very useful early game, very much like the Enchantress. But there's either that or, increase all damage done for 3 seconds. You could do that one. I'd much prefer this one. A continuous flip passive to critical chance is very, very good. Now, the Enchantress has her own skills, ending up with a 3% attack speed bonus, which, she's the speedier of the 3. The Scoundrel is the higher damage dealing of the 3, and the Templar is the more defensive.
What sort of man steals from a Templar?
I would never be caught stealing from you.
Keyword
I
caught.
find that hard to believe.
I'd have to be incompetent to get
There
caught.
we go. Listening to them and their arguments over the time, if you can actually, if you right click up here, you can dismiss her. You can also retrain her skills. I've never actually used that. And, she'll go back over there, and you could sit there and listen to them, and they'll all have interesting dialogue in between them. There's a lot of conversations you can listen to with them, and they're all pretty funny. Anyway, there are more of these, and I think I forgot to continue talking about it, but there are, I think, 6 total of these.
Belial, Lord of Lies, is the most elusive of the 7 evils,
7
and is a
evils.
master of deceit. It is said that he manipulated Asmodan into revolt against the prime evils. This began the Burning Hell's civil war, which ended with the dark exile of the prime evils to our mortal realm.
Yeah, so there's another little bit of background. All of Cain's books that I find in Act 2, I will show off what they contain because they're kind of interesting. I may even go search out a few extras just to show you. Now, here we have a little boss here. And you don't want to get hit by his attacks. You want to kind of, run around in circles, not be hit by him, and make sure, you're not getting hit by the other guys either. Nothing useful. And now we've arrived here in Alcanus. And here we're supposed to free these caged prisoners,
Thank the gods.
which is a little...
I wish.
Oh, I got lag. Ha! Look at that. Diablo's been having a little bit of issue with that of late. Hopefully they can get it resolved fairly
You
soon.
can't leave us here.
I
Calm
could,
yourself. I will
but I
get you
won't.
out of these cages. Look, just over there.
Yeah, we
I
got
never
some
imagined
champions here.
this
Let's
creature.
take them down. And let's free some more of these guys. As you can see, we have a total of 6 of 8, 7 of 8. You can head down into these cellars, which contain some more prisoners. You don't have to save every single one, but, you can save a bunch of them, and I guess it gives you
I
bonus
must
to
escape. The refugees await you in
something.
Chaldea.
Probably your rewarding experience and money when you complete this quest. But it's not particularly useful. Hey, that is much better.
You are too kind.
Look at that. 54 intelligence versus 8. I like it. And there's always another cellar down here, or I think usually, maybe not always. Even though it looks like the ritual cellars we interrupted earlier in the game. It's not. There's pretty much nothing here. I'm not even real sure why they put a lot of these in here, but they are here, and you can free more prisoners, though it doesn't give you any more, you know, bonus at this point, so there's not really a lot of point to it. Is that any better? It is not. That's junk. So yeah, experience shrine, that's always beneficial. At this point, you know, there's not a lot that we haven't already seen. We've seen a lot of these same enemies, you know, for the last 3 or 4 areas, and there's a bunch more that you can kill around here. These guys are specifically damage dealing, and a lot of these guys will summon more enemies, especially in this area. These manglers and berserkers, you know, they'll summon these guys, and they do more damage than these guys. It's not a lot to deal with, but, you know, there's differences, and not that one. Here it is. There's always a book here. And those are just orders from Belial to Magda.
No illusions to hide behind this time. I didn't think you were brave enough to face me in the flesh.
It matters not. While you hunted me, Belial's Imperial Guard captured your little witch Leah. Soon, her power shall be his.
Are we starting to see a pattern here? The game is not very original. Avoid that at all costs. That is a lot of damage, especially at this point, but even more so later. And if you notice, she stops taking damage there. She will form a barrier once she loses, I think, about a quarter health or a fifth of her health. And then she won't take any more damage, see, even though I'm hitting her, until she pops up her barrier and you kill all of the enemies that she summons. Then she'll drop her barrier and you can deal more damage. A lot of people don't seem to realize this, and they continue to stun lock her, meaning that she stuns you forever. You know, the other people in your party will decide to stun her forever, and then she can't use her shield, and she'll never be able to continue with the fight, and it just takes a lot longer.
Magda has paid for
This
your
is
death,
because
Cain.
people don't pay
Be at
attention,
peace, my
so,
friend.
you know, now
She
you
was
know.
consumed by shadow. It pains me to see it.
And here we go. We found our first chip gem, which gives us 6 to the basic stats, and you can see how much better the ones that I've crafted are. And if we're not sure about crafting, we'll learn about that later. Here we have an item that I can't even equip yet. It's locked off based on level, just like all the other ones I found before. And this is one that I had from my stash from before, so let's just put that on. That gives me a little more damage at least. And I don't need those. There's almost no point in keeping those. You can't sell them for anything. At this point, we've completed the quest. Time to go back to camp, as is indicated in our objective list. And more
In her final
kinda
miserable
cinematics.
moments, Magda swore that the demon lord Belial would soon rule this world.
I can't do
He'll
anything
have
about
to
that
defeat
phone.
me first.
You think I could train my friends to not call during the cinematics when I'm recording. You know, it's bad enough when they call when I can pause it, but if I can't pause the game, it really doesn't work out well. You gotta listen to annoying, you know, ringing in the background. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, now we come back to town, and of course Leah is not here because same plot device used again.
In her final moments, Magda claimed that the Imperial Guard had captured Leah. At the Qasim outpost, I discovered that these guards are serpent demons under Belial's control.
Then they must be holding the Emperor against his will. I tremble to think what Belial might do with Leah and her growing power. The only chance we have to rescue Leah is to wrest the Emperor from the grasp of the Imperial Guard.
Perhaps Ashira of the Iron Wolves could get us close to the Emperor. I will go speak with her.
That's a good idea. But first, let's get us some more damage here. Let's throw that ring back there, right wherever the hell it was. I don't know where it was. Doesn't matter. Let's see here. I want to take my ring here, and I'll throw one of these in there. Well, I've got one of these left. Might as well throw it in here. And don't worry about socketing things with gems like I'm doing here. Anytime, well, not anytime, very soon in this act we will get to a point where we'll be able to unsocket them as well. It will cost money, and you may not have a lot of money. It's about 1,500 1,560, I believe, to unsocket one of these gems, and any of the cheaper ones will obviously cost less. These ones cost, I think, over 5,000 to unsocket, but that's pittance compared to what I have. So now that we've done that, these are the items I want to keep for later. Got some more damage, and let's salvage some of this junk and repair our gear. Junk, 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 more junk, more junk, more junk. And at this point in the game, when you fight a boss, you will have a guaranteed drop of, I believe it's 2 rare items. Even though your magic find really isn't all that high, you won't normally be able to find a lot of them. The odd one you will find, but the first time you kill the boss, if you exit out of the game and go do the same quest again to kill the same boss all over again, which you can do, you won't get that guaranteed drop this time. So just so you know, that's kind of how that works there. That would be better, except it's not. I could put a gem in there and make it better, but I'm lazy. That's just a warning telling you you're going to destroy it and you won't be able to get it back, which I'm not worried about. And we can get rid of that too, because that's useless. Anyway, let's go see if we can go get Ashira to get us in to see the Emperor, so we can hopefully rescue Leah.
That wizard.
Here's the
Attention, subjects of Emperor.
doohickey thing there. That's just a little more experience, and as the little image denotes, we head over here.
Out here are... Ashira,
Oops.
the Emperor and my friend are in grave danger.
No.
I must gain entry into the palace.
I heard what you did at Cain Outpost in Alcanas. You have my thanks, and you shall have my help. Captain Ravan, this woman has vital information regarding the massacre in the Borderlands. We must see the Emperor at once.
Very well, but I don't think you'll find him receptive. Let them pass.
Alright. Yeah, they'll mumble more stuff to the guards here, just like they did before. You just have to wait till she gets here, and then for some reason we have to talk to her in order to open the door instead of just walking through it, but whatever.
You are bold to have sought this audience with me. My guards tell me you were responsible for the massacre of innocent villagers in Alcanis.
Really?
Do not be taken in by those lies. Alcanis was
The Emperor
the work of
is a
servants
child.
of Belial, Magda and her coven.
If you are innocent, then why do you have spies skulking through my sewers? Bring her in!
Ah, there's Leah.
Let me go! I detest violence. Guards, I leave this matter in your hands.
You don't sound evil much, do you? Yep, and they're all these guys, so let's just slaughter them. She explodes with power there, and if I hadn't toasted a bunch of them, she would have done it herself. She doesn't kill all of them, but she does kill a whole bunch of them.
I have improved.
And my higher level up. Yay.
I knew you'd come for me.
We should leave here before more guards arrive.
And now we can head out through the front
Get out of
gates.
here. I will cover your escape.
Well, that's nice of you, Ashira.
Now we need to get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get there.
Oh, so our new goal is the sewers. And we'll have random enemies spawning up and down here for our next little while. Let's just slaughter a few of them. And here, we get a little...
These demons are blocking our way. We must destroy their summoning construct.
Yeah, let's destroy the summoning constructs. There we go. They can't summon any more demons to block our way. Not that they were any challenge to begin with, but they'll take a few hits to deal with if you're, you know, not playing with new stuff. Normally guys spawn there too, or maybe it's these guys. Somebody spawns somewhere anyway.
There has to be a way into the sewers from here.
There has to be somewhere into the sewers.
This leads to the sewers.
This leads to the sewers. Let's go in. You don't have to kill anybody else. There we got a quest, and we got a waypoint.
my mother Adria. She's alive. But the Imperial Guard is holding her somewhere down here.
We will find her.
We won!
And here in the sewers we'll get areas of light spawning on the ground, which will summon a bunch of
Magda was telling the
skeletons
truth.
from above.
Somehow I knew my mother was alive. I always knew it.
But you never knew her. Be wary, Leah. Things are not as they seem sometimes.
And here, now that we're in the sewers, this is a very short area. We just need to hopefully get lucky and find the right way through.
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us
No,
cleanse it
I
from
don't.
this land.
It's dead. It died. Just like everybody else. Yeah, there's not a lot of directions to go. Unfortunately, fortunately it's not too far, so it's not like you're going to go way out of your way. Yeah, but once that opens up, they'll almost always spawn skeletons dropping down. Sometimes in later areas, they'll summon other enemies as well. Wow, lots of champions and rare guys in here. That's nice. Now, am I going the right way? This will probably loop her. Yeah, it's a dead end. Sometimes they will have those, which we don't need to listen to. I just don't want to have to, stop blathering. Pretty much that's why I cancel all of them. I could let you listen to them, but, I'm not going to play the entire game for you. I'm just going to explain the basics, get you through, and show you quick ways of getting through, and that's pretty much it. If you want to get into the game yourself...
Tell us about the Black Soul Stone! We know of the three that the Horadrim used to trap the primevals. What is the purpose of this one?
Your master Belial has good reason to fear it.
Leave her alone.
Black Soul Stone, huh? Well, that's a new concept. The concept of a Soul Stone was introduced in previous Diablo games, where you were able to trap the primevals in soul stones, which are basically exactly what they sound. They're stones containing a soul of the Lord of Hell, and then you can smash it with the appropriate weapon, and it becomes destroyed, and you won't be able to find, or that basically completely destroys the enemy.
Leah, my daughter.
How do you recognize her?
My darling, I've watched over you all your life. But I never dared get close because of the danger that always shadows me.
This is not the time to discuss the past. Let us get to safety.
And she'll open up a town portal for us, so we don't have to press a button ourselves. And we get some more dialogue.
I'm surprised Cain never told you why I left. He knew I was called to fight the Lords of Hell. And I knew he would keep you safe.
He's gone now.
Then it's fate that we have been reunited. Cain's work, your work, is my war.
According to the Horadric texts, only 2 evils remain. Belial is here in Chaldeum, and Azmodan has yet to reveal himself.
Most impressive.
And we level up. Nice. And we
The
can talk to
guards
Leah.
were asking you about this Black Soul Stone. I remember reading about it in Uncle's journal, but it didn't seem important.
No, but it is. It is the key to defeating evil forever. It was created by the mage Zoltan Kuhl to trap demonic souls.
Yes, he was a renegade Horadrim, dismembered by his brethren before he could activate the Soul Stone. His head was sealed away in the Dulgar Oasis.
We must retrieve it, because if we're to use the Soul Stone to defeat Belial and Azmodan, Zoltan Kuhl must live again.
We rescued Leah's mother, the witch, Adria. She revealed to us the existence of the Black Soul Stone, an artifact that could destroy all evil forever. Of all mortals, I have been given the task of retrieving it.
Okay, enough dialogue. You guys talk way too much sometimes. And this is our basic quest now. And there's also
Murderer,
a book.
Torturer, monster.
Okay, a little more talking.
These were the titles bestowed upon Zoltan Kuhl by the Horadrim. Though it cost them dearly, they killed the wizard for his crimes against nature and sealed his broken corpse within a shadow realm. It seems they were afraid he might return.
So what are we going to do? Make him return! Yeah, pretty much. Now, in order to progress, even though it's not apparent without the indicator, we need to head back to the Chaldean Bazaar. Which is just... yeah, it's a bazaar, just like in any other game or in real life. It's just a marketplace. That's all it really
It's
is.
disgusting. I've seen that woman going in and out of the sewers.
You never can tell with those types.
Yeah, they talk about Leah a bunch. And here we get to the flooded causeway.
We may have a visitor up ahead.
What kind of visitor? Oh, this one. There's a merchant here. No, that's not who she's referring to. They're referring to Emperor Hakan.
Listen to me. I cannot talk for long. Belial's guards are constantly watching me.
Emperor Hakan?
Forgive me for my behavior at court. The gods would have killed me had I sided with you. But I will help you now as I can. You must be headed to the oasis. I can open this gate for you.
How do you know that I'm going to the oasis? And take a look at his little picture.
Listen to me. I cannot talk for long. Belial's guards are constantly watching me.
That is
Emperor
one of the
Hakan,
strangest
forgive me for
portraits
my
I've
behavior
ever
at
seen.
court.
What the
The
hell
gods
is
would
on
have
his
killed
head?
me had I sided with you. But I will help you now as I can.
Anyway, we enter here, the ruined cistern. And from here, we basically kill some more skeletons, kill some more... If you haven't figured out by now, being in sewers, there's going to be a lot of enemies that have poison-type effects, such as these little things popping up all over the place. They're going to have some poison attacks, which are going to deal poison damage, so beware of that. But yeah, you know, we're just going to kill a bunch more enemies, wander through here a little more, and eventually we will make ourselves get out of here and toward the Douglar Oasis, or however the hell she pronounced that. Go away. Die. Now, normally, I think the gate should be up here, or not. Guess we have no choice but to go this way. And it might be up there. I guess it is up there. Jeez, I'm going the wrong way every time I turn around.
Warming up.
Normally, I'm not this bad at finding the right way, but oh well. Oh god, this is going to be the wrong way too, isn't it? Yep. Ah, well, at least we
The
got more
vowelless
dialogue.
manuscript lists Asmodan as the best battlefield commander of all demons, having defeated the angels many times in the eternal conflict across Pandemonium and the prime evils in the demonic civil war. If the Lord of Sin ever assaults our realm, we truly have much to fear.
There we go. And here we arrive at the path to Oasis. And this leads to the Douglar Oasis as soon as you walk, 2 seconds that way. But anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode of Let's Play Diablo 3.
Everything
And
we're
more
doing
dialogue.
is
They're trying to, or Adria's trying to convince or teach Leah how to do some new spells that she's not used to, and she's having a little bit of problem with it. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.